You guys aren't the real Avengers. I can tell Hulk gives it away. Oh, that was awesome. When's our next retreat?
Next mission? We'll call you.
Do you have my numbers?
Someone will call you.
Yeah. Hold on to that. Does anybody pay? This is my chance to prove myself. Yeah, Spider-Man!
Do me a favor. Stay close to the ground.
Oh, hey.
What was that?
Nothing.
You're the Spider-Man from YouTube.
I'm not.
You were on the ceiling.
What was it? Ned, what are you doing in my room?
May let me in. You said we're gonna finish a Death Star. She doesn't know.
Nobody knows. Well, I mean, Mr. Stark knows because he made my suit, but that's it.
Well, Tony Stark made you that. Are you an Avenger?
Yeah, basically. Dude, you can't tell anybody about this. You gotta keep it a secret.
A secret? Why?
Because you know what she's like. If she finds out people try and kill me every single night, she's not gonna let me do this anymore.
Okay. I'll level with you. I don't think I can keep this a secret. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
I can't believe this is happening right now. I gotta go.
Hey, where are you going? What are you hiding, Peter? I'm just kidding, I don't care. Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. A little bit of new footage. We get to see him do like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man save, just like Iron Man's telling him, someone will be in touch. You mean someone? We have your number. He will not give up on being an Avenger. So I just keep wondering how long it's actually going to be, what he's going to have to do before Iron Man's like, okay kid, you're an Avenger. Or if it's going to be one of those things where he just gives him the suit at the end of the movie and that's sort of the sign that he's become an Avenger, like you won the suit back. Because this seems like it's happening relatively early in the film. But I should say there is a new round of the Guardians giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. If you haven't seen the movie already, make sure you go see it. I know there are a lot of questions that connect Guardians to Avengers through a couple of plot holes, but we're mostly focusing on Spider-Man. I'll address that stuff at the end of the video, because Tom Holland was talking about future movies. Peter Quill is not going to be coming to Earth anytime soon, so the two Peters won't meet up for quite a while. But you see Iron Man drop him off, you see this funny save scene at the Rainbow. This is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You may have seen behind the scenes pictures way last summer when they were filming this scene. There were scenes of him on a bicycle in the Spider-Man costume in broad daylight. So people were like, what's going on here? But then you saw the criminal hanging from wires in the sky, so you're like, okay. Clearly he stole someone's bike, he's rescuing them. There's a newsstand nearby. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a shot of a Daily Bugle newspaper, because a lot of this movie feels like it takes place in Queens, so if we ever see the actual Daily Bugle J. Jonah Jameson, it probably won't be for a while. I think it's mostly because they use them so heavily in the other Spider-Man films, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and they're really big on not doing characters that they've already done, but I feel like the Daily Bugle now, because of the sharing arrangement with Sony, can become the de facto newspaper of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at least for the next couple of movies. But most of his interaction with the Daily Bugle doesn't take place till he starts swinging around Manhattan a whole lot. That doesn't really happen till much later in his time as Spider-Man, but I think the fairy save will be like the big hat tip, like the big disaster. But here's the head scratcher. J. Jonah Jameson typically goes after Spider-Man in the newspaper because he's the only hero of the adventure, but now because of the MCU sharing arrangement, you have all these other Avengers flying around, so wouldn't the Daily Bugle be taking shots at all the Avengers too? So if the fairy save goes sideways, wouldn't Iron Man also make that headline? It feels like one of those sales tactics where like you put Tony Stark on the front of a paper, it'll sell way faster than if you put this brand new Spider-Man person on the front of the paper. So I'm just not expecting to see a whole lot of that, but I'm sure that they'll find a funny way to work the Daily Bugle into the movie. But the other really funny part here is him swinging through the backyard, chasing down a criminal, and falling next to this tent with the little girls in it, and his mask just malfunctioning, so the eyepiece just starts twitching like he's totally possessed by a demon. Oh my god! It's not that he's swinging through a backyard just for fun. He's actually trying to chase down a criminal for real. It's just you don't see the criminal part. But if it wasn't clear what the villain progression is in the movie, you start out with him in the suit early in the movie, stopping bank robberies, stuff like that. But he sees that they're using Chitauri tech. Then he sees criminals doing worse and worse things with even more dangerous weapons. You see the Tinker and the Shocker building even more dangerous weapons from cobbled together bits of other alien parts. Then you get to your ferry save, and he tries to tell Iron Man, look, we have this big problem, there's a lot of weapons manufacturing going on, and then he legit starts going up against the Vulture, who's behind all these weapons sales. Really, I think the thing that's different about this Spider-Man movie, other than him being in high school, is the fact that somebody knows his secret identity and is going to be helping him be Spider-Man, or at least learn to be a better Spider-Man. Part of the whole thing with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, is that people don't know his secret, and then over the course of a couple movies, they slowly find out. Mary Jane didn't learn to the second movie, and neither one of them really helped Peter out. But you have Ned Leeds here who's discovering he's Spider-Man for the first time, and then in later clips, you see him help hack the suit to learn what all the different Stark tech does. So you don't really see it too much in like the later footage, like he has that big save where he's wearing the old version of the suit, but I think a big part of the movie is in him leaning on his friends and them helping him be a better Spider-Man. So it'll be fun to see how they help out with like the big later fights in the film when he's going up against the Vulture, because they are really selling a spider team, and I'm interested to see if Michelle finds out by the end of the movie too, because they're just implying that she's a little bit smarter than previous Spider-Man love interests, like she's a little more observant even if she's pretending not to be. Peter, where are you going? Just kidding, I totally don't give a crap. So it almost feels like she's gonna find out by the end of the movie too. But the cool thing is that we know that there's going to be a second Spider-Man Homecoming movie. Tom Holland did this big fan event in Brazil where he talked about the villains that they're looking at and stuff that he's really excited to do. He name-dropped Mysterio, talked about some of the other villains that he wants to do in the future. So I'll read his quote here. He says, "There's so many good villains. I really like Mysterio. I like Kraven. I really like the Clone Saga. I think it would be really cool if Peter or Spider-Man has to fight people with the same powers as him. Spider-Woman's super cool. I think she's called Spider-Girl, who is his clone. They kind of like hit it off, and then they take their masks off and they're like, oh my god, what the hell? They're like the same person, but she's just a girl. I think that's really cool." So he's talking about a bunch of different things, but you know, we talk about how Spider-Man Homecoming is borrowing a lot from the Ultimates comic. When he talks about the Spider-Woman that's a clone of Spider-Man, that's actually the Jessica Drew character from the Ultimates universe. So main universe Jessica Drew is a completely different character, but this definitely implies that they are borrowing heavily for all the Spider-Man Homecoming movies, even the sequel, from the Ultimates universe. Kraven is a solid pick, but most of the villains that they've gone with so far are tech-based, like the Vulture is very tech-based, even though in the comics there's a couple different versions of him, and even though his flight harness is something that he always engineers, it looks more bird-like as opposed to the more tech-based Iron Man look of the new Spider-Man Homecoming films. So just assume if they do animal-based villains, because that's what most of Spider-Man's villains are, they will have a tech spin on them. The Quentin Beck Mysterio would be perfect for that, because he was just a stuntman that used technology to make it seem like he was working magic. But I don't know if he's quite a big enough character to be like the big villain of a movie. Like the Vulture is the big bad of Spider-Man Homecoming. The Shocker is a big Spider-Man villain, but he's not the big bad. He's working with the Vulture. So it feels like if they did Mysterio or Kraven, they would do a situation like that where there's a couple villains working together. But let me know, like, who do you want the big bad of the next Spider-Man movie to be? The other big news you may have heard about, this is actually pretty cool, there's going to be a Deadpool TV series, and everybody's already asked what it's going to be rated. They're calling it an adult TV series, so I'll do a video explaining what's going on with that. But congratulations to Squid Bear, you're the latest giveaway winner. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. You can click here for all my Guardians Easter eggs, and you can click here for a longer Spider-Man trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.